Let's talk about the NECC because there's one huge game in the NECC, and it is the Central Noble Cougars involved for the conference.
Greg Moe, baby.
We talked about 22 starters back, Greg Moe said, and they've actually been pretty impressive. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They lost in the opener to West Noble. Now they take on a Busco team that is undefeated overall. This is basically the small division title here.
Yeah, it should be a cool atmosphere coming up on Friday. And Busco is just, you know, people asking, well, what does Busco do well? And you're kind of like, I don't know, really. I mean, they run the ball and
they throw it a lot this year.
Yeah, they do throw it. They do throw it. They can throw it and mix it in. I mean, there's nothing spectacular with Busco. It's not like they're running for 350 yards a game or keeping teams to, you know, five points a game on average. I mean, it's just a very pedestrian, and they just keep winning. And it's just Busco's not flashy at all. The same thing with Central Noble, too. After that season opening loss to West Noble, it's really been solid. So it gets a little bit more difficult now with you got Busco, you have Garrett coming up as well. So find out a little bit more about Central Noble coming up Friday, and then when they play the Railroaders as well. And I think they may have East Side, too, in there, too. I don't know.
Central Noble, it really has the murderer's row at the end. They've got Busco, then they've got East Side, then they've got Garrett.
Thought so, yeah.
And they dodged Angola this year, so they didn't have Angola on the schedule.
I mean, is this the Columbia City thing? Okay, so where you're getting ready to face 3 really good teams, just like Columbia City has to do in the NE8. Is this where you come back down to earth, or does West Noble continue to, or excuse me, Central Noble continue to surprise?
The funny thing about this matchup to me is that Central Noble is going to try to Busco. Like you've got Breon Burgess, who's rushed for over 800 yards. You got Braxton Dial, who's rushed for over 700 yards. Those are Busco-type numbers and a Busco-type approach, but those guys play for Central Noble. I mean, that's what Central Noble and Greg Moe is doing this year.
Meanwhile, you know, Paul Sade's coming out in 5 wide, guaranteed on Friday.
I mean,
he can sling him.
I'll say this: he's rolling out Tom Richards a ton, and Richards getting a lot of time. It's tough to throw on the run. High school quarterbacks, it's difficult for them to do, but he's rolling out. And, I mean, he's finding guys wide open in the back of the secondary.
Yeah, they do. They've done a tremendous job with Tom Richards. Through like 3 games, half of his completions were for touchdowns, and obviously that pace didn't keep up. But the kid is a tremendous talent at quarterback, and Busco fans are like, well, we haven't seen this. And I didn't know that forward pass was allowed in Whitley County in that area.
New this year.
So, yes, it's new. New wrinkle in town. It's now allowed in the city limits in Churubusco.
Well, that is the most intriguing game in the NECC. We've also got Lakeland at West Noble, East Side at Fremont, Fairfield at Garrett, and Prairie Heights at Angola. Again, Angola, 64 points last week. You know, I remember when Fairfield was a really tough place to play.
Yeah, it used to be Fairfield and Lakeland every year.
Very cyclical, so maybe they'll be up some other time. But, man, you go put up 64 points at Falcon Field. Pretty impressive.
They got Angola will have Garrett next week, which could be a big game. At Angola, I mean, all of a sudden you're looking at it going, you know, can the Hornets go 9-0 in the regular season? Yeah. You start to think you like their chances a little bit more getting into the playoffs. Man, 4A, I mean, you just look at it.
It's a juggernaut
brutal.
In this area.
It's absolutely brutal to get out. The sectional and even the regional is difficult too. So, I mean, but if they can wrap it up, go 9-0, a tremendous season for Coach Andy Thomas and the Hornets.
All right, we'll have it all wrapped up for you next Monday right here on Inside the Zone. But for this week, he's Justin, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you next Monday.